Well, here we are in Kilberry on the west coast of Scotland, in the middle of this forest, and I'd like to introduce you to my friend Forbes here.
Hi.
So Forbes, we're
Yes.
up here in the forest
Yes.
with your
Old car.
Old car here. Can you tell us a wee bit more about your car?
My old car. It's an old Discovery, Series 2. Raised it with 2-inch lift on it with the heavy duty springs. And I've put 285 tyres so they're a bit wider and chunkier. The best modification I made is the black letters on the bonnet, which look really cool rather than the silver ones. The real beauty of it is that you can come up here, get it dirty, scratch it and drive round a wee bit. It's much more relaxing than driving on the road, and it's a bit of a laugh, and you get to make the car look muddy, which is what these cars should look.
Forbes, thanks for bringing us up here in the middle of nowhere and bringing us into this forest here and to chat to us. It'd be good if you could just tell us a bit about you and about your life.
Okay, I was brought up in a Christian family. My dad was a doctor, my mum was a nurse. Brought up in the Brethren and saved at the age of 9. Decided one night, because my dad turned the lights out, that it was actually about to happen, and at that point I needed to have my sins forgiven and ask Jesus into my heart at that point.
As you becoming a Christian at 9, how did that influence you in your teenage years?
So I ended up with a fantastic sense of guilt about being a Christian because I was never really good enough. By the time I got to about 47, I had quite a bad motorbike accident. I was in hospital for a week in intensive care, and I discovered actually God accepts me for who I am. And at that point, my salvation became quite a real thing and a pleasure.
How did your life change then after that? How did your outlook on life change?
It's a lot freer. There's always somebody you can turn to, God himself, because Jesus Christ has already done the work that would separate you from God. Jesus Christ has taken your sins away. Because you've had your sins forgiven, God sees you as perfect. So many churches these days are actually just social clubs with not a lot of God there. And when you look at what the church originally was, it's really interesting to see how it was much more about the personal relationship that you have with God. What we're kind of thinking about is very much more the personal side of God, and how the relationship between each of us works, because that's how God communicates. That's what our men's weekend's about. God appears as we gather together, and it's that relationship. When you stifle your relationship with God, you're stifling God in the world. And so the men's weekend's about reaffirming or explaining how God affects you individually, because that, by its very nature, has to be different.
So then, in terms of being a businessman, sometimes that's really successful and other times it's not so successful. So how do you cope during the times when it's not very successful? And then conversely, how do you deal with success?
Well, when there's no money, that's when I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and start praying for the cash to come in before wages day. You do what you've got to do, then you just have to leave everything else to God. Psalm 139 is all about the plan that you're in, and it doesn't matter where you go, but God's there. When the money isn't there, the money's not there. When it is there, it's not there to waste, it's there for a reason. You know, as a Christian, we're supposed to show love. Yeah, sure, I save for rainy days, but if I see somebody that needs something and I can genuinely help, that's the demonstration that I can do of God's love.